as I you haven't seen it because I know you have. Then how many senators do you know have got a divorce before cheating on their wives? Did you ask them to step down? No. But it's for show. You guys make sure you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because the man's made a mistake. And this higher standard, you forget you got a big plank in your eye. We all
Johnny,
make mistakes.
good to see you, brother.
I made mistakes. And Jennifer, thank you for loving him through that mistake. Because the only reason why I'm here and not in prison is because my wife loved me too. I had changed, but I'm not perfect. But I found somebody that thought I was perfect. And for whatever reason, you love Pete, and I don't know why. But just like our Lord and Savior forgave me, my wife's had to forgive me more than once too, and I'm sure you've had to forgive him too. And so thank you.
You know, all the perfect characters in Congress, right? Drunks, the womanizing. Happens more on Capitol Hill, I'm sure, than any other place in the country. Bunch of disgusting hypocrites. You know, I love when the new year comes about, because I make a pledge for myself. Learn more stuff.
Good to see you, Johnny.
New stuff, especially
Thanks
stuff
for
that's
hanging
really
out.
interesting.
It's just a drive home.
College is that way too.
I'm just trying to make sure it's
They're
safe.
offering more than 40 free online courses, more than 40. Taught by the best of the best. They are so interesting and compelling. Learn about the works of the great C.S. Lewis, the stories in the book of Genesis, the meaning of the U.S. Constitution, the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, the history of the ancient Christian church with Hillsdale's free online courses. I'm enjoying the Genesis story. Look, Genesis is a book of fundamental importance for the Jewish and Christian faiths. It has exerted a profound influence on Western civilization. Sign up for the Genesis story now, or the other 39 courses, if you like. Learn some of the work's major narrative themes, including the complex relationship between God and man, the consequences of a rupture in that relationship, and the path toward reconciliation. Start your Genesis course with Hillsdale College for free. Go right now to levinforhillsdale.com. That's Levin for Hillsdale.com. There's no cost. It's very easy to get started. And you're going to enjoy these courses. You really are. That's levinforhillsdale.com. Levin for Hillsdale.com. I'll be right back.
Levin.
No Shoes Radio is your soundtrack to summer, even in the winter. Hit Chesney's personal playlist.
It really is a playlist that I have on my boat.
Exclusive behind-the-scenes access to Kenny Option.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of driving info on my main channel this week. Until Friday, that's when my suspension, my driving channel is lifted, apparently.
Because IT jobs are everywhere.
My hometown was going. I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life. Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take a free career evaluation today. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted. Not available in Washington State.
AI is rewriting the business playbook with productivity boosts and faster decision-making coming to every industry. If you're not thinking about AI, you can bet your competition is. This is not where you want to drop the ball. But AI requires a lot of compute power. And with most cloud platforms, the cost for your AI workloads can spiral. That is, unless you're running on OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. This was the cloud built for AI. A blazing fast
OCI. Minimum financial commitment and other terms apply. Offer ends March 31st. See if your company qualifies for this special offer at oracle.com/patriot. That's oracle.com/patriot.
Ever feel like everything's getting more expensive? Groceries, rent, even breathing? And let's not forget car insurance. It just keeps creeping up. But here's the thing. Insurify makes one part of life easier. It's an insurance comparison site that finds real-time quotes from dozens of top insurers. Insurance companies compete for your business, driving prices down. It's like having a friend who knows all the best deals, but without the smug grin. You could save as much as $1,025 a year. You might even cut your bill in half.
Sustainably sourced bovine colostrum concentrate with over 400 sustainably sourced bovine colostrum concentrate with over 400 bioactive nutrients. It works at the cellular.
Yeah, it's bad right now. Should be better now.
Enhance your skin and hair, elevate your energy, and enhance your metabolism, among thousands of other benefits you can see and feel. Start your health revival today.
That's why I don't use their
/SiriusXM or enter code SiriusXM online to get 15% off your first order. That's ARMRA.com code SiriusXM. That's tryarmor.com/SiriusXM or enter code SiriusXM online to get 15% off your first order. That's ARMRA.com code SiriusXM.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Human dignity, secure borders. SiriusXM Patriot.
Channel 125.
Conservative principles live here.
Hour next. Big hour. Hour 3. A lot of us. Well, what's going on? And people with their credit cards that can't pay them off. There's more delinquencies in credit cards than any time in record. So a lot of folks are trying to get their finances in order this year, trying to get it right. Particularly people with these massive credit card debt and the crazy interest rates, 20, 25, 30%. I've got great news for you. Interest rates have dropped and they're now in the 5s. Not on credit cards, on mortgages. And if you've been buried in high interest credit debt, now's the time to break free. American Financing, which is a family-owned business, it's been around 25 years. They have tremendously high ratings. I've used them, Mr. Producer has, my daughter has. They can help you access the equity in your home, the cash in your home to pay off your high interest debt. Look, here's the bottom line. It's all your money. So you can pay 25% on credit card debt or 30% or 5% change by refinancing your mortgage and deduct up to $10,000 in interest from your federal income tax. It's a no-brainer. So last year, American Financing salary-based mortgage consultants helped customers save an average of $800 a month. That's $10,000 a year or so. What a way to start the new year. Imagine what you can do with that money. So rather than burning it, you can use it. And if you start today, you might be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. You can call American Financing right now. But the sun went down. But they're still there. 1-888-900-1828. Hello. 888-900-1828. 888-900-1828. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 12334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 start at 6.458% for well-qualified buyers. Call 888-900-1828 for details about credit costs and terms.
One of the highlights during this hearing was that Elizabeth Warren, Professor Elizabeth Warren, proved herself to be a pea brain. Cut 8, go.
You're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years? You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals. So you're saying sauce for the goose, but certainly not sauce for the gander?
I would want to see what the policy.
Oh, I'll bet you would.
Now, Elizabeth, may I tell you, Lizzie, man, with all due respect, the reason the generals have that policy is because to become a general, you need to be in the military 20, 25, 30 years. This is a civilian position. It ends with the administration. He's not a general. So there is no such policy, there's no such law. It's amazing. What experience does he have to be Secretary of Defense, right? As long as he's never worked for a defense company, okay, what other experience here? You want him to have been the head of the post office? I mean, what do you want? In her case. do you want? Now, Macy Hirono is about the most obnoxious person in the Senate. And there's a long line of obnoxious people in the Senate. But I decided not to play those clips. Number one, I'm getting tired of clips. And number two, she's a humiliation. She's an embarrassment. And the people of Hawaii, you need to rethink this. She says, I have read many reports where you've been drunk at work, all by anonymous sources, and the people on the record say that's not correct. And that's why Mark Wayne, Senator Mark Wayne, said what he said. You know that's his first name. I like it. Senator Mark Wayne. People call me Mr. Mark all the time. I don't know why, but I kind of like it. And she says, she goes on about stuff like that. You were drunk on the job. No, I wasn't. And yet they keep making the allegations. Let me tell you how it works in Washington so people understand. The Democrat Party work with the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC, and the rest of the media. And so they get information, maybe it's an FBI report, maybe it's a letter to the senator, maybe it's somebody they bump into, nothing. I don't want to go on the record, but... And then they leak it. And so the media have already kind of laid the foundation for the smear campaign. And then the very leakers cite the papers and the outlets that they leaked to. We saw this with the Russia collusion stuff with the FBI. Then they cite it. You were drunk on the job. No, I wasn't. That's anonymous sources. I've never was. Oh, yes, you were.
Honey, I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
Oh, it's awful, hon.
You know, my brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos.
I know it's been on our list, but isn't getting life insurance a huge pain? Oh, it's so much paperwork, and you have to go see the doctor. I wouldn't even know where to start.
With Ethos, Dave said it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage.
Well, the vid is always on point.
Ethos. Life insurance made easy. Visit applyethos.com to apply today. That's applyethos.com.
I'll be more personal soon, guys. I'm sorry I'm not responding much. I'm just making sure I'm safe driving. It's the conditions here are a little bad, so I'm just trying to make sure I drive safely.
It's the new must-listen podcast in America, The Will Kane Show. We will talk news. We will talk politics. We will talk culture. We will talk sports. Watch Will at noon Eastern on the Fox News YouTube page and get the podcast at foxnewspodcasts.com. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-978-1515. 800-978-1515. Stacy on the right.
On the next Stacy on the Right, I'm joined by Virginia Allen, host of the Daily Signal podcast, and Problematic Women on the incoming political shakeup, and Thomas J. DiLorenzo, president of the Mises Institute, with an inflation report.
Listen live weekdays at 9 p.m. East on Sirius XM Patriot.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters reporting. The Biden administration is lifting Cuba's designation as a state sponsor of terrorism. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
The move by the outgoing administration to ease sanctions is part of the deal facilitated by the Catholic Church to free political prisoners on the island. According to senior officials, many dozens of political prisoners have
Pete Hegseth appeared in his confirmation hearing today before the Senate Armed Services Committee. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has more.
The former Fox and Friends host and former military officer testified at this Tuesday confirmation hearing that legacy media has shared lots of information allegedly about him, but all has been disproven. Still, Hegseth says it's had an impact on this confirmation process. Hegseth rejected the idea that he has disparaged women serving in the military. Hegseth said women in our military, as I have said publicly, have continued to make amazing contributions across all aspects of our battlefield. Bernie Bennett, Capitol Hill.
California has withdrawn requests for the EPA to give the state authority to enforce rules limiting emissions from diesel-powered trains and big rigs. The move comes days ahead of President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. The Biden administration last month approved a California rule phasing out the sale of new gas-powered vehicles in the state by 2035. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 221 points, the Nasdaq dropping 43, the S&P 500 advanced 6 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is MediShare. You get both. Any family save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you could save a ton, like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Wall Street was mostly higher today after encouraging inflation data. We hear more on the market's activities today from correspondent Seth Sutel reporting from New York City.
Most stocks rose on Wall Street following an encouraging update on inflation, but drops for Eli Lilly and some other influential stocks kept indexes in check. The S&P 500 edged up 0.1% Tuesday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 221 points, it's about 0.5%. The Nasdaq Composite fell 0.2%. Stocks got some help from a report that inflation in wholesale prices wasn't as bad as expected last month. Lilly weighed on the market after saying growth for some of its blockbuster products wasn't as strong as it expected. Lilly fell 6 0.6%. Treasury yields edged higher in the bond market. Seth Sutel in New York.
News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters.
You didn't start a business to babysit your poorest performing employees. That's exactly why I started my business, so you don't have to. Hi, I'm Alan Jones, founder and CEO of Bambi. I created Bambi so small business owners could take back control of their business. Need to fire a poor performing employee who happens to now want 3 months off? Your Bambi HR manager will take care of that for you in your first week with us. You spend your time coaching your A players, we'll take care of the rest. I'm so confident that Bambi will help you focus on what you love about running your business that I'm offering a $1 trial to the service for your first month. Trust me, there are no limits to the amount of calls or questions you can give your Bambi HR manager. After your first month, just $20 $9 a month for companies of any size. Month to month, no hidden fees, cancel anytime.
Get a month of Bambi for just $1. Go to Bambi.com and type Patriot under radio to schedule your first call with an HR manager right now. Go to BAMBEE.com, Patriot Radio. The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code SERIOUS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Sean Hannity. You know, as a conservative, we believe in individual freedom, limited government, strong families, personal responsibility, school choice, freedom of speech. We believe in our Second Amendment, the right to keep and to bear arms. We believe in freedom of religion.
Conservative principles live here.
The Sean Hannity
Show, weekdays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Patriot Channel 125 and on the SiriusXM app.
Conservatism, if applied, works.
Now broadcasting from the underground command post. From the bowels of the hidden bunker somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. There'll be a conga line of presidential nominees going through this process on Capitol Hill. It's a matter of time.
Hey, Matt.
Yes. Nearly 1,000 signed a petition calling on a Brooklyn cinema to ban Zionist propaganda film. It's a documentary about
Didn't see it, Matt. I'm just
Palestinian terrorist murder.
trying to make it home, man.
The Israeli Olympians in 1972, the Munich
We're getting close.
And so in our own country, in Brooklyn, the Islamo-Nazis, the Hitler Youth, come out and sign a petition. They don't want the movie. They want it banned because this is the nature of Marxism and Islamism. I didn't say Muslims. I said Islamism, who are Muslims, but they are radical Muslims. And so that's what we have going on. So we shouldn't have the movie, which is a documentary, which is true, because they've decided they don't want us to see. What do you think about that, America? What do you think about that? 60 Minutes, you know, as part of CBS. I remember when it was actually a very good program. It's not anymore. Over at National Review, Noah Rothman writes, Americans were just treated to a variety of spurious allegations by 2 one-time State Department employees. See, the State Department has always been infested with Jew haters. Since Woodrow Wilson's days, but especially Franklin Roosevelt's days. I wrote about this at length. The Democrat Party hates America, but others have written about it even more extensively than I. And, of course, FDR himself.
FDR was a fucking communist.
Under Blinken, under Biden,
at least a socialist.
With these Jew haters. On Sunday night, Americans were treated to a variety of spurious allegations promulgated by several former State Department employees who made a vocation of insisting that no one will listen to them. Hala Rat, R-H-A-R-R-I-T, Rarit, was among them. Once a career diplomat who occupied several high-ranking posts at the State Department, she left the State Department in April of last year to protest the Biden administration's policies towards Israel after the October 7 massacre. Her righteous, self-imposed exile notwithstanding, her non-stop media blitz and speaking tour on which she embarked in the immediate wake of her resignation has yet to abate. It's yet to abate, and she goes on. And she's not alone.
Ooh.
And there's several people like this at the State Department.
Rich bitch.
And there's something needs to be
It's
done
$1 million
about this.
house there.
Yes. But you know what? Joe Biden himself has blood on his hands. As I mentioned earlier, here's Breitbart. Biden removes pro-Hamas, Hezbollah-tied Cuba from state sponsor of terror list. Writes Francis Martel, leftist President Joe Biden announced today he would remove Cuba from the State Department's list of state sponsors of terrorism, leaving only Iran, Syria, and North Korea on the list. He is burning the place down, man. Biden claimed in his declaration Cuba had not sponsored terrorism for 6 months, apparently enough to remove it from the list. Wow. What the hell? It's been doing it since 1959, but who's counting? Cuba's been on the list for most of the years between 1982 and 2025, with the exception of 6 years between 2015 and 2021. After leftist President Barack Obama, who Biden served as VP concessions to Havana. The Obama concession policy resulted in a dramatic increase in political and religious persecution on the island. It served to embolden Cuba to forge deeper relationships with global terror entities such as Hezbollah, Hamas,